All right, let's dive into this new e-invoicing mandate in Germany. It's causing a real stir. We've been digging through articles, expert analyses, even taking a peek at how Switzerland's doing it with their e-invoicing. So by the end of this deep dive, you'll be up to speed on what's what with this new legislation.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is this is bigger than just some tech upgrade, It could actually reshape how we think about finances. For everyone, big companies, small businesses, the whole shebang.
Okay, so let's start with the basics.
Right.
What exactly is an e-invoice? And how's it different from the paper invoices or PDFs we're all used to?
So an e-invoice is not just a digital document, right? The data is actually structured so a machine can read it. Using formats like, E-Rechnung and zusätzlich, which are XML-based, it's not just about emailing a PDF back and forth. This is about information that systems can, understand and process without a human having to do everything.
So it's less about what the invoice looks like and more about how the data is organized behind the scenes.
Exactly. Think of it this way. A PDF, it's like a picture of an invoice. An XML e-invoice, it's like a spreadsheet with all the info neatly organized. And this machine readability, that's the key. It opens up all sorts of possibilities for automation.
So it's not just about going paperless. It's setting the stage for a way more efficient and automated system. Now, this new law makes it mandatory to receive these e-invoices in Germany. So who exactly does this apply to?
Basically, anyone who's doing business-to-business transactions in Germany, no matter how big or small the company is, businesses, self-employed folks, even landlords renting out commercial space, if their leases include VAT, they're in too.
Wow, that's a huge shift. So that means no more shoeboxes full of receipts for German businesses.
Yeah.
But what about issuing them? Does everyone have to start sending e-invoices immediately?
Not quite. There are some transition periods and a few exceptions. Receiving e-invoices became mandatory January 1st, 2025. But for sending them, there's a grace period for smaller businesses. If they make under 800,000 euros a year, they have until the end of 2027 to fully comply.
Okay, it makes sense to give the little guys some time to adjust. But won't that grace period create kind of an uneven playing field? How do you think larger businesses are going to handle having to deal with both e-invoices and traditional invoices for a few years?
Well, it'll be a transition for sure. Some bigger companies, they might be eager to go all in on e-invoicing for those efficiency gains we talked about. Others might take a more wait-and-see approach. There could be some bumps in the road as everyone figures out the new system.
And just to be clear, this doesn't apply to invoices sent to consumers, right? And what about smaller invoices, say under a certain amount?
You're right. Business-to-consumer invoices are excluded from the mandate, and invoices under 250 euros are also exempt.
Okay, that clarifies things a bit. Now, I'm seeing some mixed reactions to this new law. Some people are calling it a bureaucratic nightmare, while others see it as a huge step towards modernization. We even have a quote from one business owner who feels like these new rules are being forced on them. They're asking, why change a system that, to them, was working just fine? What do you think about this pushback?
It's understandable, right? Change can be scary, especially when you're talking about established processes. People find comfort in what they know, but sometimes you need a little push to move forward, to embrace progress.
So it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. Hurts at first, but ultimately it's for the best.
Yeah, exactly. Change can be disruptive, there's no doubt about that. There will be some upfront costs, some adjustments needed to switch to e-invoicing. Some businesses are worried about the technical stuff, like the new formats and whether their current software will work with them. Those are valid concerns, and they need to be addressed.
Okay, I get it. Change can be a little scary for some. But let's talk about the good stuff. What are the benefits of e-invoicing? Why are governments pushing for this kind of change?
There are some big advantages here, both for individual businesses and for the economy as a whole.
Okay, let's break it down. What's the biggest win for businesses who make the switch?
I'd say efficiency for sure. E-invoicing really streamlines that whole accounts payable process. We're talking faster processing, quicker payments, better cash flow overall. Some studies show that e-invoicing can cut invoice processing costs by as much as 80%. That's a big deal for any business's bottom line.
80%, wow. You also mentioned faster data access as a benefit. How did that play into things?
Real-time data is a game changer. With e-invoicing, businesses can keep tabs on their invoices at every stage. They can get insights into their spending and make better financial decisions. That kind of transparency helps optimize processes, find bottlenecks, just overall better financial management.
So it's not just about saving money. It's about using data to be smarter. That's powerful stuff. Now, what about security? Everyone's always talking about the security benefits of e-invoicing.
Right. Security is a top priority for any business. And e-invoicing definitely has an edge there. With paper invoices, there's always a risk of losing them, damaging them, even fraud. But e-invoices are transmitted and stored electronically. Much safer, much harder to tamper with.
Yeah, that peace of mind would be worth a lot, especially come tax season or during an audit. And let's not forget about the environmental impact. Less paper is good for everyone, right?
Absolutely. E-invoicing is a major step towards sustainability.
Less deforestation, lower carbon emissions from all that printing and shipping, less waste in general. It's a win-win. Now, for businesses who might be feeling a little overwhelmed by this transition, what resources are available to help them figure things out?
Well, there's a lot of support out there to help businesses adapt. Like we said, the German government is offering free software on their Elster portal. It can help businesses with reading e-invoices.
Great, so the government's providing some basic tools. But what about businesses with more complex needs?
For them, there are these e-invoicing platforms. They handle everything. Format conversions, validation, secure transmission, archiving, the whole 9 yards. They can even integrate with existing ERP and accounting systems.
So they kind of act as a bridge between different systems, making sure everyone can communicate in this new e-invoicing world.
Exactly. They take care of the technical side so businesses can focus on, running their business. And there's this concept of interoperable agreements. They make sure that all these different platforms can talk to each other, no matter what technology they're using.
So that means a business using one platform can easily send and receive invoices from another business using a different platform.
Yep, it creates this big interconnected e-invoicing network.
That sounds crucial for widespread adoption. You wouldn't want businesses to be stuck using only one specific platform.
Right.
It's got to be a level playing field.
Right. Interoperability is key for a strong and inclusive e-invoicing ecosystem.
So we've got the government's role, we've got support from these platforms, and this idea of interoperability. Sounds like a well-oiled machine in the making. Now, our research also mentioned Switzerland's experience with a similar system called e-bill. Can you tell us a bit about that? And what lessons can Germany learn from what they've done?
Switzerland's e-bill is a great case study for Germany. They launched it back in 2018. And it really shows that widespread adoption of e-invoicing is totally doable. It's led to big efficiency gains for both businesses and individuals over there.
That's good to hear. It sounds like Switzerland paved the way, proving that this kind of digital transformation can really work. What were some of the things that made e-bill so successful in Switzerland?
I think collaboration was a big part of it. The Swiss government, financial institutions, businesses, they all worked together to develop and implement the system. They also really focused on making it user-friendly, so it was easy for everyone to use, whether you were sending or receiving e-invoices.
So it's not just about the technology. It's about creating an environment where people feel comfortable making the switch.
Exactly. Change management is just as important as the technical side of things. By addressing people's concerns, giving clear guidance, showing the benefits, Switzerland was able to build trust and get everyone on board with e-bill.
So it sounds like Germany's got a pretty good model to follow there. As we wrap up this deep dive, let's recap. What are the key takeaways for our listeners about this big e-invoicing shift?
Well, the main thing is e-invoicing is here to stay in Germany. This isn't just some passing fad, it's the new normal for B2B transactions.
And even though some businesses might be dragging their feet a little, there are tons of opportunities for those who embrace it, right?
Absolutely. We're talking more efficiency, faster payments, better data insights, increased security, and it's better for the environment.
Plus, there's help available every step of the way. The government's got those tools we talked about, and then there's that whole network of e-invoicing platforms ready to help businesses integrate with the new system.
Yeah, so instead of seeing this as a burden, think of it as a chance to, modernize how you do business, get ahead of the curve.
Great point. So as Germany moves into this new digital era, what's one final thought you'd leave our listeners with?
I'd say think big picture. What if this whole e-invoicing thing in Germany starts a chain reaction across Europe? Could we end up with a more standardized, efficient system for everyone? And what about the environmental impact? Could this move to digital really cut down on paper use and lead to a more sustainable future for businesses? Those are some interesting questions to consider as this all plays out.
Definitely something to think about. Well, this is a topic we'll keep exploring as things develop. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into e-invoicing in Germany.
Until next time.